Hey guys, welcome to my first video. My name is Aman. This first video is gonna be about firearm safety and the four universal rules, that you should follow if you don't wanna die or get in trouble or hurt somebody else. I'm not a professional. This is just something I enjoy doing. As I learn more and more stuff, I'll share it with you guys. Some of the biggest reason I wanna do this is, especially right now with the pandemic going on, a lot of people did go out and buy firearms. A lot of these people are first-time firearm owners. So I just want to make sure that they are safe and they have fun while going out and shooting these guns. Just want to make sure they don't hurt themselves or anybody else or getting a lawsuit or anything like that. Also, today I'm going to be showing examples with different firearms. Some are real, some are fake. This is a real Glock. This is a fake Glock. We've also got an AR-15. This is a real one. This is not a real one. The number one rule I would say, well, not I would say, it's kind of the universal rule, is treat all guns as if they are loaded and always know the conditions of the gun. As far as treat all guns as if they are loaded, basically means don't point your gun at things, don't play around with it, don't hand it to somebody that might not know what they're doing. Just be safe with it. Treat it as a very live and dangerous object, because technically it is. It can be fun if you're safe with it, but know that it's dangerous. Pretend it's always loaded, even when you know it's not loaded. Don't point it at people. Don't point it at yourself. Don't point it at your friend. You'll probably get kicked out if you don't end up shooting yourself or somebody else from most ranges. Second part where it's saying know the condition of it. What that means is you want to know whether or not the gun is loaded or not. Whether there's only rounds in the magazine or there's also a round in the chamber. The reason is, like, you might be shooting, you put your gun down or take the mag out and put your gun down, but somebody else who's with you might think, hey, there's no mag in there. The gun's safe. I can pick it up and just pull the trigger, do what I want with it. But there might be a round in the chamber. You should know that, and especially if there's people around you, clear it. Just pretend they don't know anything and they're gonna do the worst case scenario. They're gonna, do the things they're not supposed to do. Unload it, rack the slide back, double check. The other reason you kind of want to know, besides the safety aspect, is if you are an experienced shooter or a beginner and you carry only the magazine loaded, no rounds in the chamber, you should know that. Be aware of that. Like if there is a threat or you're about to just shoot on the range or whatever, you should know that you have to pull it out, rack it, and then get your sights aligned and then pull the trigger. If you aren't aware of how your gun is, it's not really useful to you. You don't carry around in the chamber, you pull your gun out and start pulling the trigger, nothing's gonna go, nothing's gonna happen, it's not gonna fire because there's nothing in the chamber. You need to be very well aware of it. All right guys, so the second universal rule of gun safety is keep your finger off the trigger until you know 100% you're ready to shoot. And by that, I don't mean fake gun. I don't mean you're at the range so you think you're ready to shoot and you have your finger on the trigger and you're ready to shoot. No, what I mean by that is when you have your sights aligned, you have the target in the sights, safety's off if your gun has a safety, and you're actually fully committed to shoot. Whether it's a target at the range, which for most beginners it will be, or if it's like a life and death situation, you don't want to, if it's a life and death situation, you don't want to put your finger on right from the start and shoot your foot, shoot your leg, shoot someone else. Only shoot or pull the trigger or put your finger on the trigger when you're 100% on target, sights are aligned, and then you're ready to shoot. That's the only time you want to do this, right? Finger should always be right here, not on the trigger, not on the trigger guard, not in the trigger guard, but not on the, no other variation. No finger in at all. You don't want this. Like, especially if it's a life or death situation, adrenaline's gonna be going, you're gonna be nuts anyways. You probably pull the trigger before you wanna do it. Don't do that. I mean, I feel like that's common sense. Why you don't wanna do that? Because you can easily shoot someone by accident, right? Most triggers are pretty sensitive. And most of the time accidents happen is because your finger was on the trigger. Guns don't just go off if no one touches the trigger. They go off when you touch the trigger. Reduce the chance by not putting your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. I know there's 4 rules that are very important. I would say this is one of the most important, because even if you have a loaded gun and you're treating it like it's not, if you don't put your finger on the trigger, it's not gonna go off, right? It's like the on button, don't turn it on. The third rule, again, might feel a little repetitive. Don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to destroy. Again, fake gun. Don't point it at yourself. Don't point it at your friend. Don't point it at your cat. Maybe if you see Carol Baskin.
Killed her husband, whacked her.
Or just throw some sardine oil on her and that should take care of it. Just don't point at anything, man. Like, point at the target, and that's it. Or again, if it's a life and death situation, point at the bad guy. People do this all the time though. Like, this is very simple, but people do it. And an example I'll give you again, all with the fake gun. People will, like, when they draw their gun a lot of times, they will put their hand in front. You don't want to do that, especially if your finger is on the trigger. You can shoot your hand. When they're holstering, a lot of times they'll point it back at themselves. When you're pulling it out, you can shoot your foot. I've personally seen this many times, like from my own friend actually. First time shooting, went, shot the target, gets super excited and just turns on, yo, I hit that. Don't do that. His finger's on the trigger and he's turned around, looking at us, celebrating how he, hit a fake paper thing from 5 yards. So that's like two things in once. You're pointing at things you don't want to destroy, but you also have your finger on the trigger. Just don't do it. Don't put your finger on the trigger, man. Fourth fundamental rule is know what's exactly in front of your target, behind your target, and even around your target. If you're shooting paper targets, you want to make sure there's a stop in the back, whether it's a berm or concrete wall, whatever it might be at a shooting range that you have. Where it's a natural hill, make sure your bullet will not go through the target and hit something that is somebody's property or someone. Make sure there's nobody in front of the target. Especially if you're at a range, if someone else is downrange, putting up their own targets or whatever they're doing, do not shoot. Don't point the gun in down, nothing. Just don't do it. Make sure there's nothing in front of your target, nothing behind your target, and to be safe, nothing really around it, right? One of my friends, and the guy that actually trains me to shoot, he actually said this thing that I kind of stuck with me. It's like, behind every round, there's a lawyer. And lawyers will f you up, they'll throw you in jail, and they'll fine you. So you are liable for every round that comes out of your gun, right? You're shooting at a range and you miss and you shoot somebody in the leg, you're liable. You're probably gonna get sued, right? You shoot above, or there's no berm, you shoot past your target, there's nothing to stop it, hit someone's window, hits their cat. I mean, you're gonna get in trouble, right? Just unless it's Carol Baskin, just put some oil on her. Sardine oil, unleash the tigers, it'll be okay. Probably not, don't do that. Literally, pretend there's a lawyer behind every round that you fire. You do not want to get sued, you do not want to go to jail, you just want to have fun. Or use it as a last resort situation where you're saving your life and somebody else around you. This is one other big thing I'll say is get a holster. I know a lot of people will just buy a gun and that's it. They don't ever get a holster. If you're transferring to a range in a box, great, that's fine. When you're done shooting over there, like in between sessions, unload your gun, rack the slide, make sure there's nothing in the chamber or the mag, literally double, triple check, put the gun down, facing down range with the side lock back. So anyone over there in the area can see your gun is safe, right? You don't want to put it in your pocket. You don't want to put it in your pants. It's not safe, don't do it, get a holster. You want shooting to be fun, not stressful. Just follow these 4 basic fundamentals and just use some common sense, right? And I think you'll be okay. All right, so I have a few different firearms right here, like I mentioned earlier, some fake, some real, and I kind of want to show you how to do the different things that we talked about with the firearms directly. So I'm actually going to load up the Glock 19 just to show you how to unload it safely. So there's the gun. Again, I'm not pointing it at anybody. My finger's not on the trigger. See, you don't see it on the trigger. And by the way, there's nobody around me. It's just me and the camera, okay? So, finger's not on the trigger. When you pick up a gun, always assume it's loaded. And to check, push the mag release, take the mag out. Don't assume it's unloaded yet. Don't assume this is safe because there's a round in the chamber still. So you want to rack the slide and the round will eject. I'll kind of show you, you don't want to do it that way. I'm going to do it to show you how it functions, right? The round comes out, it's going to fall on the ground, you're going to catch it, whatever it might be. Don't do it, but now I'm going to show you how you should do it. If there was a round in the chamber, you typically want to tilt your gun down while it's still facing downrange, put your hand over it, and then slide the rack back. And the round will just come in your hand. It'll fall right there. Put it there. Now your gun is in slide lock, right? Again, do not assume This is empty and safe, where you can just pull the trigger or point it at people. You should never do that. So again, once your slide is racked, check, physically inspect the barrel to see if there's a round in there. And don't turn your gun to the side to check or anywhere like that. Just forward, down range, where it's safe. There's nobody there, just a pile of dirt or a concrete barrier or whatever it might be. And also check in the mag well. Completely empty. You can hit the slide release or rack it back and do it again a couple more times. Make sure there's nothing coming out. It's so easy to think that it's empty, and that's when shit goes wrong. That's the main time that things go wrong. Just, I don't know, sometimes little gremlins come and put rounds in your chamber. Don't let them. And one other thing I notice people doing a lot too is when they're about to reload, they'll bring the gun back and turn it to the side so they can take the mag out. So you don't want to do this because you're literally pointing the gun at other people shooting alongside you. What you want to do is just bring your gun into your workspace, take the mag out right here, and also reload right in the same spot, and then go forward. That's it. You, just from here to there. You don't need to bring it all the way back and turn it to the side or anything like that. If you have a holster, put your gun in the holster so it's tucked away. If you don't have a holster, slide your lock back and then put it down. I'll show you how you kind of do the same fundamentals with an AR. This is an AR. Let's see if it's loaded or not. We're gonna assume it's loaded. Safety's on, right? We're not gonna point at anybody. Our finger is not gonna be on the trigger. Again, there's nobody over here for me, but there might be someone at the range. The most likely will be, so I'm just doing this to show you guys. Finger should not be in the trigger guard. It's not in the trigger guard, right? Not on the trigger guard. So to unload it, again, you don't want to turn it this way on the range. Have it up here, hit the mag release. I'm doing a lot of crazy things right now, literally just to show you guys. It's not stuff I would do. Hit the mag release, the mag out, and then rack it back. It's a little lever right here. If you like, again, this is for someone who's never really shot these things. Rack it back, physically inspect. There's no round in there, nothing in the chamber, nothing. You can lock the slide back, nothing in there, nothing in the mag. Some people even stick their fingers in there, and I have fat fingers, don't really fit. Well, I can physically see clearly there's nothing in there. And even then, you can kind of do it a couple times, but you still always want to check because your extractor might be bad. And if there's a round stuck in there and you don't know, nothing fell out, or you assume it fell out while you're talking to your friend, don't pull the trigger. Don't point at anybody. Shotgun, again, it has rounds up here. That's it. You really shouldn't even have this here, but you know, whatever. Got it right now. I'm not breaking any fundamental rules. I'm assuming this is still loaded. It's on safe. So I'm gonna check. Shotguns will have a little lever right here, a button. Different models have different things. Rack it back. There's nothing in the chamber. I'm physically inspecting it. Again, pretend you're at a range, point only down range. Nothing in the chamber, rack it forward. There's nothing in the tube, just to be safe. Rack it a couple more times, safe. Put it away, and when you do put it away, just like putting a gun in a slide lock, leave it where the chamber is exposed, so you can see. That's it. Don't shoot yourself. Don't just rely on this video. Do more research. Take a friend that is experienced, or a family member, have them show you how to safely operate a firearm. Best of all, I would say get professional training. It's not terribly expensive, especially when you could totally kill yourself or somebody else or get in a lawsuit. It's a lot cheaper than that to just get a professional to show you how to handle these things. So they're fun and you get good at them. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching the video. And again, this is a video if you're taking a friend or a family member or someone that's someone's new to firearms, send this video to them, have them watch it, let them kind of digest this maybe the day or two before you guys go. And then once you're at the range, go over these things with them again, because I mean, you can't there's just never enough drilling this stuff into somebody. So this channel is basically gonna be about some of the things I enjoy doing in my free time, whether it's firearms, motorcycles, cars, etc. We'll go over reviewing different products, again, whether it's guns, motorcycles, or cars. Talk about different drills, safety, and different techniques, etc. All right, man, you guys have fun.
Okie dokie.